My very first sentence about Vel'Koz buffing, do not buff flat damage or AP percent. I don't think they've even read a single line. They haven't read a single line, because that's precisely what they've done. Do not do it. Boom. Instantly done it. If you guys don't know, there's a snippet in this Freak review, which we're gonna watch right now, where he basically says, we are not giving them good feedback. All we do is say Vel'Koz sucks. So, turns out this is not feedback. Turns out this video was not feedback. Turns out me saying, do not buff Vel'Koz flat damage or AP percent was not feedback. They did that anyway. I'm happy buffs happened. They did it in the most boring way, but in a very expected way. So anyway, the strike is over. We're happy. We're gonna play. The new items are coming right across the corner. Like, we're instantly gonna come up with playstyles. I think Vel'Koz can work. Genuinely, he can work. Like, do not make this, like, disappoint you so much and, like, tilt. It's fine. We're gonna go back to playing Vel'Koz. There's no strike. Vel'Koz is now gonna be in actually okay state, depending on the meta and depending on the items. Like, we're gonna be able to play it.
So, we're buffing Vel'Koz. So I talked earlier about giving feedback, right? And my champion sucks is not enough. Vel'Koz is a...
My champion sucks is not enough. Do not buff flat Vel'Koz damage or AP percent. They do precisely that. This is feedback. I think this is feedback, right? This video is feedback. This is feedback. But this is now Vel'Koz sucks. My champion sucks. Can somebody please tell me, in what avenue are they gathering intel? Where do they gather data from players? How can I get in contact with Freak? I don't care. I'll make a Reddit post. I don't care. I'll go on fucking Tumblr. I'm gonna be hearted. I'm gonna send him, like, my hearts. Okay? I'll be on Tinder. I don't give a shit. Please tell me how I can communicate with this man. I have spoken to dozens of Vel'Koz mains. I know all prominent Vel'Koz players. They're all in communication with me. We're all talking. Okay? I can tell you with 99% certainty, we all agree on the things. You have a disappointing post instantly from Robalas, from me. Everyone is here. Everyone is on the same fucking page. I've taken upon myself to write long paragraphs, long essays on Vel'Koz buffs, on Vel'Koz design, how to work with him, how do we change this champion. Not a single one of these people, including myself, were communicating. Even if they avoided me somehow and they got into one of the other Vel'Koz players, Vel'Koz subreddit, I don't care, wherever they could have gone, they would have found different ideas. Not this one. Not this specific one. So the fact that they're saying, oh, Vel'Koz sucks is not criticism, my thinking is they never even bothered to check. I think he just heard, like, either one person in solo queue game tell him that, and he just ran with that as that's the community feedback.
Looking at a solo queue data, he does a relatively large amount of damage. He doesn't tend to...
And what do they do? What do they decide to do? They buff flat damage. In what video game design fucking school they teach you that shit? How about make certain abilities lose damage so you can reward damage in, like, higher to land places or more difficult things to proc? How about you shuffle the damage from one point to another to reward good gameplay? In that case, win rate would remain about the same. Worse players would get worse, better players would get better. How about we do that? That's gonna give him impact because you already said he has enough damage. How about we just shuffle the damage around?
But I totally buy if you're like, actually, here's experiential problems I have with Vel'Koz. And speaking of one, I want to bring up this idea that his E fizzles while he's dead. This isn't true. These dumbasses at Riot just won't give us QOL. Just fix it, forehead. I'm like, his E doesn't fizzle while dead.
Like, why Freak is such a terrible communicator? Like, I like what they're doing with the game, and most of the times I've praised them wherever they deserve praise, and I'm really trying to be, like, very balanced in the approach that Riot doesn't get the feeling of them being cornered and being against the world. But this type of public communication is so terrible. Freak, he may be good behind the scenes, but as a communicator, he's abhorrent because he comes up very condescendingly, and when he says something stupid like that Cartus thing, like this one, he's coming up very condescending, and he's just coming across as like a person you cannot communicate with. First of all, because he doesn't communicate with you. Second of all, he just responds to, like, the worst arguments by worst people. And, oh, like, Draven L9 racist told me to myself, he's not giving me useful feedback. Yeah, like, no fucking shit. I don't know what is he doing here. He's just not achieving anything by talking like this. He's talking as if he 100% solved this Vel'Koz E fizzling thing without having understanding. Oh, you, like, he went into an editor, he played with it.
And like slowed the game down to 1/8 speed. It's like, what's happening with, oh, it works like every other spell in the game.
Vel'Koz players have complained about Vel'Koz E fizzling for years, okay? Free comes into editor for a few minutes and he disproves it, he debunks it. So who is at the wrong there? Could there be something with the Vel'Koz E that design is terrible? Maybe that long ass heavy animation which also continues upon that. Your animation will still gonna continue giving you full sense of ability going out. The ability will appear but not go out. E flash cancel mechanic. Wow, crazy. He does the E and flashes and the E fizzles out, even though animation continues. Look at this. Okay, the next one. Animation continues, the E appears, it doesn't pop off. Like, he did that like in seconds in editor, without slowing the game down, without doing crazy stuff, without even doing the testing with dying, which also like exists as well. Like, you didn't debunk it, you just tried it and you got the answer you were looking for. Like, it's kind of absurd to say like thousands of Vel'Koz mains for years are crying about a thing they're all wrong. Don't just go outright and say everybody's wrong. It's like the worst way to communicate.
Welcome to League of Legends, where if you die while casting a spell doesn't cast. This is how Xerath Q works.
See, again, he instantly invalidates every single opinion here. Oh, wow, you died, ability didn't go off? Yeah, you're like, cool. That's how it should be, but why are people looking at that? Why are people specifically complaining about Vel'Koz E? Like, there's a reason. There must be a reason they're specifically complaining about that ability. You invalidate everyone, you piss off everyone, you get them even more tilted about these specific things. You don't disprove anyone because those are genuine concerns that people had. The only thing you gain is ego and thinking you're correct.
I don't really enjoy the asinine comments from Vel'Koz mains who don't know how their own champion works because they're wrong. It's frustrating.
That's such a stupid statement. Like, all the Vel'Koz mains, thousands of them, who play for years and love the champion, are in love with the character's design. You're all wrong, losers. What video game creator talks that way? It just makes no sense. I appreciate the reviews, the talks, and everything. It's all great stuff. Like, we want to have insight in what Riot Games is thinking and what the design team is thinking. But to have a head who's very, very condescending and rude to the public is just stupid.
If you can give good, valid, valuable feedback, we can talk about the things that feel bad about Vel'Koz.
We need to give meaningful feedback, chat. It's your fault, Vel'Koz mains. You gave no feedback. All you did is cry that Vel'Koz sucks. None of you said anything. Freak is right, you're wrong. You said Vel'Koz sucks. You didn't tell him why, you didn't tell him what you wanted to change. Why did you do that, chat?
If R doesn't turn fast enough, if it feels like champions are too fast.
We don't want R to turn fast enough. We don't want that. It's a quality of life update that could help him a little bit, but we don't want it. It's lazy and it just makes him easier to pilot. You want to get punished for bad R placement. If somebody's juking around you with crazy movement speed and dashes, that's their outplay. They should be able to do that, because you placed your laser wrong.
Here's what feels bad about my champion, I'd have more fun if, you know, these things felt better.
I'd have more fun if he was invulnerable and had 17 dashes. Maybe that's the feedback you guys are looking for. I'd have a lot more fun if he had unstoppable. He would shout every time he ults somebody, I will not yield. He pushes them across the map, knocks them into the fucking dragon and decimates them. He defiles them there in the pit. Maybe that's the idea you're looking for.
So please, I urge you, give useful feedback.
There! Please, just tell me there! Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm tapping on my fucking Morse code thing. Like, I'm typing in Morse. The lines are cut off. It doesn't matter. I can't communicate. Like, there's no avenues to communicate. There's no way to give feedback to anybody. Please give useful feedback. There! Please make a form. Make a Google Docs. Make a form. I'm gonna type. We're all gonna type. We're all gonna give you very, very insightful feedback. Just give me something. Give me an avenue to lay the feedback onto somebody. Again, please don't send Freak any stupid messages. Don't send him death threats. Don't send anything shit. I just don't understand how you can turn on your camera and rant for hours about some feedback which doesn't exist, about some feedback you didn't even get. Blame every player, every main of the character, and tell them, why don't you tell me what's wrong? That's all that we've been doing. Let's see what the community says about the buffs. This is it. This is the complete balance change. Nothing for AZ. This is what we've been waiting for since mid-season. Just buff AZ, you lousy apes. Depressive. Lamau, these are terrible. Who did they get feedback from? I don't know. But it's not any of the Vel'Koz mains I know. Not a single one.